faithfulness is not a burden but a source of joy and fulfillment when done with a grateful heart. So in the joy of being faithful, we must see Psalm 16 verse 11. In Psalm 16 verse 11, it gives us that God's presence is fullness in joy. And for all we do, if we are focusing that it is God who has called us to manage the talent, the time, and our finances, we must find that presence in His presence, which is joy. But the question is, are there features? To be faithful, are there some features? Are there some lessons we can learn? Yes, you walk through this familiar scripture. And are there things you must be able to build on or we can learn from as we share and as we grow to be faithful in God's service? Yes, there are a few things we want to consider in no particular order. I try to develop an acronym for it, to call it the COPA. COPA, C-O-P-H-A. COPA, the acronym COPA. The features of being faithful, or the features of faithfulness, they all falls in line. COPA, the C is commitment. Commitment. Be faithful in God's service. We must be committed to the assignment that God has given. Let us do a ground check. Jesus the Christ was so committed to the point that even at death, He was willing to go through. How committed are we to the call? Are we easily giving up when criticism comes our way? When others come to oppose or come to say a thing or two against what we are doing, then we feel it's enough. Let me let it go. Commitment to the fault is a feature in being faithful to God. The next word, I'm checking the time. I don't want to be disobedient to the time. The next word is what? O. Okay, somebody wrote it. That's nice. What do you put for O? Let's go to Luke chapter 22, verse 42. Our screen is not coming, so I'll read from here. Or any of us will read first off. Luke 22, 42. Yeah, I heard a word. I heard it from behind. The O. Obedience. Obedience. Luke 22, 42. Anybody there reads, or I read from here? All right. So I'll do from my New Living Translation. Okay. 22:42. I went to 2:42, sorry. See what technology can do. Instead of writing my verse in my notes, I was waiting for soft copy. All right. So it says, and I read, Father, if you are willing, please take this cup of suffering away from me. Yet, I want your will, not mine. Obedience to the fault. So you have C as what? Commitment. O, obedience. Obedience to the fault. Obedient to the fault. Jesus said, take this cup away, but not mine. In being obedient, it is not what we wish to do, and not at what time we want to do it, or per what instruction we want to be given. Being obedient is that we are obeying the instruction that is being given by the master, and the instruction must be carried on at the time the master wants it to be carried on. Obedience that is carried on within the time frame of our own convenience is not obedience, it's partial obedience. And partial obedience is no full obedience at all. The master says, do it at this time. Rise up and pray at 12 noon. And we tell him, wait, when I'm done with my lunch, I'll do the prayer for him. Move to the prisons and help minister to a soul. The place is too stingy. And there's no bus going. And those who were to leave left at 7 o'clock. I was late, so I can't join. They will begin to pour the excuses. Obedience. Hello? Faithfulness. How do we do it? True obedience, I'll say it again, true obedience is in the